This episode of Dungeons and Dorkheads is brought to you by Green Man Gaming. Head down to the link below to get some fantastic deals on video games and shop with confidence, knowing that every game on this site comes directly from publishers and you get a fantastic deal in the process. Not only that, this video is also brought to you by XSplit. Head down to the other link down there and get in on the fantastic family of products that XSplit has to offer, including XSplit Broadcaster, which is a fantastic program for live streaming, video recording, and even making this video that you're watching right now. Head down to the link below. And let's not forget, this show wouldn't even exist if it wasn't for the great people making Foundry Virtual Tabletop. Head down to the link below. Foundry Virtual Tabletop is perfect for all of your virtual tabletop needs. It's very easy to set up, very easy to mod, very easy to get all of your game systems working, including D&D 1st Edition, D&D 5th Edition, Pathfinder, Fallout Pen and Paper, even Bunkers and Badasses. Head down to the link below and try out Foundry Virtual Tabletop absolutely free. And last but certainly not least, we need to give a big shout out to the folks at ForgottenAdventures.net for their dedication to the craft of map-making assets, virtual tokens, battle maps, Clip Studio brushes, and builder packs, all available on ForgottenAdventures.net. Link down below in the description. Guten Tag, dorks, dorkheads, and everyone in between, and welcome to tonight's episode of Dungeons and Dorkheads.
Where's the dungeon?
It's over there.
The Dorkhead.
I am the dungeon.
I am the dungeon.
It's over there.
Where's over there?
Look where I'm pointing.
Oh, gotcha. All right.
Got it.
Right, so, before we begin, just a couple of thank yous that we gotta throw out there. Of course, I have to thank all of my amazing players for
You're
once
welcome.
again. Okay.
Don't know what you're thanking me for. You're welcome.
We'd also like to thank Ryouku once again for the amazing character art. We haven't commissioned her in a while. In fact, pretty much all of the art that we're using tonight is pre-existing stuff we already had on hand. That, or it is edited from that one artist that I take a lot of inspiration off of, Dark Vault. Sorry in advance for borrowing a few of your art pieces. Well, yeah, but we're gonna credit him as best we can. And finally, we haven't thanked them in a while. The boys over at ForgottenAdventures.net came up with this handy-dandy little battle map plugin, which allows you to import maps, complete with walls, lighting, and other various systems. Some of them are free. Many, many, many of them are not, but you just subscribe to the Patreon and you get access to that, which I am considering. So, yeah, go check them out. Link is in the description of the video. Did anyone have anything else to say?
I do, but you don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, my only thought was fuck you. So I don't think mine is useful.
What? The fact that
About
we've
the
sold
same.
out?
What do you mean?
If we've sold out, that means we have money.
And I'm not getting any of it. Fuck
And
you.
where's the pay?
Where's my
We-
fucking money?
We'll be
The money went into
compensating
this dope
in,
tavern.
V-Bucks?
Yeah, where are V-Bucks?
Oh shit.
We don't pay you in V-Bucks.
What do you pay me in?
Gum.
Oh, shit. Well, where's my trident layers?
Yeah, exactly.
I think it was discontinued, actually.
Where's my battle pass?
You just get
My
5 now.
fucking battle pass, you.
The Dungeons and Dorkheads battle pass.
My fucking battle pass, asshole.
You get 150 points for showing up to session.
Yeah. When's my next unlock?
There are 1,000 points per level.
Dope. When's my next unlock?
You have 150 points.
Nice.
You
Now,
can get
what's my next unlock?
you can get your next unlock early, but you have to pay $20.
Shit.
Yeah, you know how it is.
How
Monetization,
many,
microtransactions.
how many dollars to just jump to level 20?
Yeah, like how much?
Just give me $400.
Oh yeah, cool, sweet.
I'll Venmo you.
Yeah, don't worry, it'll go through. Yeah, it'll go through. Yeah.
Anyway. So, if that is all we had to go over, let's go right into the recap, shall we?
Woo.
So, where we left off, our intrepid adventuring party was continuing its escapade across Central Adia, and eventually it will go beyond. I know it's called Beyond Adia, just be patient. Starting in Riverside, they got leads on where they have to go next. Finding the various keys to unlock the vaults in Castle Grendelmore and eventually the Frozen Citadel. But first stop, Wizard City, where we found some new spell scrolls, met a very shifty and scam-loving gnome, and got up to a few other antics while we were there.
And the platinum ring.
That was the scamming gnome.
Oh.
The platinum rings that we finally have. The 2 of them.
Don't know what they do yet, but
Huh?
folks will find
What?
out.
Don't lead off with that. Just anyways, going forward.
After a delightful couple days in Wizard City and meeting a rather interesting skeleton fellow, the party decided to take the 8-hour flight down to Shurthor, where they met Sandra Pinehoff. Previously, Campaign 1 player character, member of the Wild Whirlwinds, hero of renown, and honestly probably the easiest one to track down out of all 5 of them.
She literally gave us her address.
Well, she didn't, but
I mean, the return address, you know.
Make a relatively low DC history check.
Okay.
If you want. Not all of you have to make this roll.
I was trying to look for my roll.
Low
but
DC, you say?
Yeah,
Good
Relic, you got it
God.
immediately.
Yeah,
You remember the tales that Zach Madej would regale you with? The tales of adventure and the like, and not least of which was the escapade to save the world with the Wild Whirlwinds. Now, it is known after the Illithid defeat, there were parades, press conferences, fancy dress balls, which Zach would identify her at the time as Goat Girl. She would attend all of them, and when asked about the reasons, she said, "I want to get all the questions out of the way now so I can live a quiet life." Ironically, this led to her being probably the most prevalent of the 5 remaining members, of which, you know, Zach disappeared. Nicholas, cozied up in a library somewhere. Dante married the deer girl. And Demare is dead.
What you get for being a pirate, I guess. It's part of the business.
So that's where we left off. In front of the vineyard.
Comes up.
So, does anybody do anything initially?
Roll for scathing review.
Fucking Christ, man. Wrong with you?
I don't see a single tombstone in sight. Is this place even desecrated?
I think she lives here, so I would hope not.
Why would you say that?
As you're walking up the path here, she kind of looks at you and is like, well, it was built on... There used to be an abandoned cabin here, but it's just a cabin. We don't think too hard about it.
Oh, we came here to give you your dagger.
Yes.
Oh, yes, this.
You already handed her the dagger, by the way.
Yeah.
We
And Peppermint was heading inside to make tea, and you... As he's heading to the door, you swear you heard him say, tea.
Peppermint.
And he heads inside.
Peppermint, learn the word.
They both head in. Sandra's like, please, come in. You folks came all this way. As you head inside, it's a cozy living room, sort of. Duskin, Sandra spots you immediately.
He's not trying to hide it. He is just walking around, looking around.
If you wanted the tour, wait.
Don't worry, he's gone.
You don't know where he goes to half the time.
Looks over at the rest of the party. What is he doing?
He likes to
That's a
explore.
great question.
He's a free spirit.
Yeah, that sums it up.
As you're walking in, there is a second fawn already sitting there, and notices you all come in. It's like, oh, hello.
Hello.
Hello, nice to meet you.
She
I didn't see you there before. Hello.
looks over all of you and pauses at Relic. Doesn't say anything. Peppermint heads off to the kitchen, start making tea.
Relic is following back.
Turning to Sandra, I know this is a vineyard, but do you have grape juice for him?
We have a selection of beverages. We can do, well, I mean, Peppermint is already doing the chamomile tea, but for you, she kind of looks you up and down, can clearly see that you're a wine connoisseur of sorts.
I have a particular taste.
Picky as shit, if you ask me.
Connor! And she calls to the upstairs, and this younger looking fawn comes running, and she says, could you get one of the vintages from the, let's say, top shelf, please?
Looks so much different from everyone else.
We couldn't afford to get him a proper token, I'm sorry.
Something's wrong.
Oh. feel bad now.
You judging this poor.
It really look different.
Sorry.
You look different! It's just like, the fuck, bro?
I should have watched what I said.
And,
Racism today.
Relic.
I don't know why I thought that was a good idea.
Relic, as you head into the kitchen, you notice, around the corner, this, you spot him immediately. He's the tallest person here. This... Shane... What does Relic see standing there?
A incredibly tall shark humanoid, standing up. He's taking care of stuff on the counter. And obviously he's still only in a loincloth. So that is basically all he's wearing. So it's almost like he's just wearing a bit of a skirt to cover himself up, and he's just doing his thing.
Relic is very fascinated with Peppermint.
Peppermint, in the process of making tea, turns, looks down at you, and is like, child.
What was that, Peppermint? Oh! Well, hello there.
Child.
Yes, Peppermint, that is a child. Good.
Not that young.
Well, you look pretty young to me. I mean, I don't know how old you actually are, but you look pretty young. But hello, I'm Dante. I'm guessing you were invited in by my wife?
Oh, yeah, we're returning a dagger.
A dagger, you say?
Yeah, she
That
left
was
in the
a
dragon.
Yep, that dagger. Understandable. Are you here alone?
Oh no, the others are in the other room.
Another adventuring party. I love when you guys visit. Each one usually a little more interesting than the last.
Yeah, you wouldn't happen to know where Zach is, do you?
No, I'm not sure where he went.
Oh, also, can you sign this? Relic actually walks over and presents a book, which you can see authored by Zach Madej, a retelling of the adventures happened by the Wild Whirlwinds.
All right, what are these? I haven't signed one of these in a while. I was out for a bit, but I'm back because harvest season's almost here. Yeah, why not? He just goes and reaches on a nearby shelf, and he grabs there's a little just a little tiny bottle of ink, and he just dips one of his the tips of one of his claws in it and does a quick signing with his finger. Not incredibly neat, but a nice and simple one.
Dip, 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 dip.
Relic uses prestidigitation to dry and preserve the signature, and gives a nice little bow. And it's like, thank you.
Well, it is my pleasure. Nice to meet you. Which I see you like peppermint here.
Yes. Apologies, I did not share my name. My name is Relic Madej.
Well, nice to meet you, Relic.
I had heard many things about all of you, but I haven't heard terribly much about this fine specimen here.
Peppermint is the coolest shit ever. Peppermint's the best. I love Peppermint. I would die for Peppermint. And Peppermint learns words. We didn't even know that Peppermint could learn words. Did you know? Because I sure as shit didn't. He's just gushing, super excited about this. Yeah, Peppermint's learning words. Peppermint's learning more and more words. It's crazy.
He turns, looks at the two of you, and is like, tea.
Yes, thank you, Peppermint. You're
Chamomile.
making tea. Yes, very good. He's just super happy.
Heads off to the living room with a tray. It's got a teapot on it, a few cups, and
Peppermint's the best.
walks into the living room, is like, tea.
Why, thank you.
Chamomile.
I'm honestly just very surprised he can do 3-syllable words. Kind of crazy.
Yeah,
The progress.
Relic kind of is trying to examine Peppermint, but he's trying to get a look at the runes to understand why Peppermint.
Duskin looking through the window. You see a very nice dining room with looks like a ship as the model ship as the centerpiece. And just barely out of the corner, you're not sure, but this looks like a selection of various different alcohols.
Alcohol.
Alright, sorry. Continue.
Oh, Relic is just
As Relic just kind of shuffled out of the room, just like, all right, you take care now.
Shane, you have control
Thank you,
of
bye.
the token, by the way.
Nice. Oh, we have quite a few people here. Hello, everybody.
Greetings. Night Mother with you.
Relic, as you walk back in, you notice that the fawn over here has still not taken their eyes off you.
Relic does his best to keep Peppermint in between him and them, as it's making him very shy.
There is one more, but Duskin usually wanders back. If not, I have a contingency.
I mean, I don't blame the man. I'm a wanderer myself, so I understand.
You notice that Connor walks back into the room with a bottle of wine.
My boy!
Yes, that's our son, and this is...
He's just happy to see his kid, goddamn.
This is a 25-year vintage that, it's actually one of the first that we bottled here. I'm not sure it's up to your refined taste, looks at you, Matthew, but I think it'll give you a run for your money.
We will see. Takes, like, the small, like, tasting glass that's presumably there. Just the whole 9 yards
Absolutely.
of, like, the swirl and the
Fuck.
sniff and just, like, the, like, aerating it. And then, like, a long, like, you know, exasperated, like... It's wonderful, but it's not quite it.
You do notice that, like, you've been around the block a few times. You've heard of this vineyard, and you know that they specialize in Eingaren styles of wine.
With a lack of fucking
Eingaren
corpses.
You've had Eingaren wine. It's close. You can clearly tell that she spent a lot of time perfecting this. It's not quite there, but it's still pretty good.
Do you have anything that you would describe as sickeningly sweet?
I might. Give me a second to think on that.
You know, Sandra, it's not often we have adventurers that come in that actually are wine snobs like yourself.
I'm probably the furthest thing from a wine snob, actually. Frankly, I'm surprised we opened the vineyard.
You are to me.
Frankly, I'm surprised.
He says, putting his hands on his chest happily.
She smiles at him.
You're my wine snob.
Frankly, I'm surprised.
I don't even
you
like the stuff, as he just takes a cup of tea.
We also do mead. Right, so enough about drinks and all that. Who are you people, and why do you have my knife?
We found it in the body of a dragon. Or a dead dragon.
I
Yeah.
would say that we found our way into a dungeon, but we more so fell into it.
Been there. Well, that dragon would be Singar, the Lord of Cinders. That happened about 30 years ago, that battle was?
Yeah, I'd say it was about 30.
Yeah, about 30.
So 2 questions. One, Relic floats the book over to Sandra with the page open for like where Dante had signed, and Relic just asks, "Can you sign this?"
Oh,
And
yeah.
while saying that, does Sandra notice the draconic red gem inside a replica of Zach's staff?
Sandra does not. But the glares you're getting from this one over here indicate that she probably does. She hasn't taken her eyes off of you or that gem since you walked in. Anyway, back to that first thing. Sandra takes the book. Oh, yes, it's... oh, this book. I tell you, some of these facts are very exaggerated.
Not all of them, though.
Well,
As Dante does a fucking flex, just cause he can. Cause he can't resist flexing.
Well, for starters, I didn't kill a dragon with nothing but a dagger and 3 arrows with no bow.
That would have been pretty crazy, though.
It would have been pretty crazy. No, when Singar fell, I had help. A lot of help. Then I...
Yeah, we did notice some broken cannons, I think, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm, that would be...
Those things were heavy as hell!
Mm-hmm, that would be Demer. Which, contrary to this book, no, I didn't testify against.
I guess additional question, since not to bother you with business matters, but you wouldn't happen to have a spare copy of Sandra's Guide to Adia that I could get signed as well, would you? I'm trying to start a small collection back for the academy that was started.
She smiles at you. Give me 1 second. And she goes in here, like, glancing at it. You see this enormous desk. It looks like a study. She appears momentarily again, moments later, with 2 books, actually. And hands them to you. I've got plenty of them. Zach helped me publish it, you know.
Unfortunately, I haven't been able to speak with them in a while. We don't really know where they are.
As I said, I owe them a great debt.
Actually, you wouldn't happen to know anybody associated with the Thieves Guild, right?
It's kind of hard not to when
gives
you
you,
were traveling with Zach, needless
Sorry,
to
I
say.
didn't mean to speak up, but
She gives you a look.
I'm looking for somebody.
I mean, we were during our travels, yes, we dealt with them quite often. That was, Zach knew them as well as Demare. With the both of them, we were around them a lot, but it's not. I don't believe did we stay in contact? I've only stayed in contact with my girl down in the Orklands.
Can I do a brief, I guess slightly meta history check?
Go for it.
Okay, let's see if this actually goes through.
I think that went through.
Okay, so what was the question?
So, this is a popular published book, so, I basically, middle conversation, pipe up. What about Orvid? It is rumored that they had ties to the Thieves Guild when Granite Keep fell.
Orvid is more of
Orvid.
Orvid is more of a pen pal for me personally. What about you? Looks at Dante.
I mean, yeah, I talk to him sometimes if he sends something, but otherwise, not a whole lot. I'm usually just talking with my girls back in the Orklands. 'Cause I still got my sending stone. As he pulls it out of a pocket that's
so
on
maybe
his
I should talk
cloth.
to Corbin then to see if he knows about the blood play again. But okay.
Yeah, I'd say he'd be a pretty good bet.
So,
As for your Thieves Guild inquiry, officially I know nothing. But if it's important, I can pull some strings.
Yeah, unfortunately. Dante just looks a
Okay.
little dejected because he's not happy about it.
Well, I guess that would help. I'm just trying to track down somebody. They wronged me severely, and I'm trying to take them down.
Oh, been there.
Ooh, I like the sound of that!
Ooh, been there. you see that they're both getting excited at this.
Yeah, Dante just perks up like, ooh, I like the sound of that!
the revenge game never stops. Correct, keeps going.
How long are you folks in town for? I can pull some strings.
Oh, a day or two as we
Okay, that would work.
Yeah, I guess
collect.
That'll work. And meanwhile, that's where they ended up. Okay. Duskin.
Trying to find Dustin.
Sandra notices you out the window, kind of waves you in.
Oh, hi, Duskin. Would you like to sample this wine?
Yes.
Yes, another shirtless one! Dante just shouts as he enters the house.
Hey.
Hey, yo, what's poppin'?
I hand you the sample glass. How do you go about it?
He just chugs it.
He just downs it!
There is somewhat of a disappointed look on my face, as if I should have expected this.
That was... Well, okay.
I apologize. I'll leave a tip.
Oh no, it's fine. We've got plenty of wine. It's a wine.
Good, isn't it? You're looking mighty fit there! And Dante gives a hard slap on Duskin's shoulder, in a friendly Dante forgets he's level 18. Just, BAM! He sees another strong man, he's just like, BAM!
Just knocks him down to the ground.
Oh shit, sorry. You know what I'd recommend?
Okay. I haven't been hit that hard in a long time.
Hell yeah! Say, keep fit. You gotta be able to hit hard, hit fast.
I like you. You understand.
Right? She doesn't get me, man. And just points over.
While lying on the ground, he's just gonna turn his head towards. Or he's gonna like shake his head, like you should understand him better.
Who did you say it to?
Sandra.
Sandra.
Next, I said she doesn't get me, man.
Oh, believe me, I do.
Do you though? Dante's just getting dramatic. And he helps Duskin up, obviously. Just basically as though he's like a doll, just lifts him off the ground and puts him back on his feet.
Before you do, he would say, I would like to lay here. I am in major pain.
Apologies. Want some tea?
Yes.
Grips him a cup of tea from Peppermint.
Just drinking tea while laying down.
just on the floor, like just holding it, sipping it.
As you're lying there, this other fawn, who has not said anything up to this point, she's been chopping vegetables in the kitchen, it comes over to you, kind of leans down, looks at you. Are you hurt, child?
Yes, but I will survive.
It's the good kind, Dante says happily.
I can ease your pain if you like.
What do you mean by this?
I think she's trying to seduce you. Sorry.
Sandra comes over and is like,
I think she's seducing you. That's the first thought.
Sandra's like,
Sorry.
Duskin,
Sorry, I didn't mean to say
right?
that.
I'm gonna look over towards her. Yep.
Right, this is your god.
Oh.
And she looks at
Oh.
Sandra and is like, you know I don't like it when you do this.
Oh.
I'm so sorry. She puts me on the spot like this all the time.
Well, I must apologize for how I been interacting with you.
It's perfectly all right.
How tall is this person?
Goddess Cassandra stands at 5'11".
Okay, so she's taller. But if you are willing, a little help would not go unappreciated.
I believe I have... Now, what do you mean by help?
I am in pain.
I hit him pretty good. That's my bad again.
He literally knocked him out.
That was
Truly.
my
Knocked him out,
bad.
or just
I'm
knocked him down.
sorry.
He's definitely very much awake, so knocked down makes more sense than knocked out.
You truly don't know your own strength sometimes, my son-in-law.
I'm sorry.
As for the
He just
pain,
is so sad.
I can aid you, as well as perhaps a little bit more. And she reaches out, puts her hand on your shoulder, and the pain eases. It just completely goes away.
Ah, much better.
She fixes my fuck ups.
And perhaps I'm feeling generous today. And she puts her hand back on your shoulder, and Duskin, you receive the blessing of the goddess.
What does it do to you?
Once per long rest, you can now cast Pass Without a Trace.
Ooh,
Or,
okay.
alternatively, Zephyr Strike.
Really? Okay, hold on now.
Hold the
I
fuck
think-
up!
I think we know which one, honestly.
So basically, it's like once a day you can cast one of these two spells. It doesn't expend a spell slot. It's basically like, are you rushing in, or are you going sneaky beaky like?
I see.
Can Relic, like, slowly leaning past Duskin, hold out the signed Wild Whirlwinds Adventure by Zach Madej and get the goddess Cassandra to sign it?
She looks down at you, smiles. Well, it's not every day I'm the one signing things.
You should do it once in a while.
Relic is like very extremely shy and like opens his mouth to say something and literally just cannot form words because he didn't expect to literally meet a deity.
Sandra, do you have a quill? Yeah, alright.
Relic pulls out the ink and quill from their pack.
Oh, very well then. And she signs away and graciously hands it back to you.
Which
Thank you.
Virgil does a courteous bow upon hearing the news as well of her being a deity and just, oh, apologies, my lady.
I didn't expect
No,
to
I
see
read
you
earlier.
here. But thank you for your blessing, my goddess.
And she gives you a bow. Now then.
Matthew is just like, at the moment that like it's revealed, just like, oh yeah, a goddess in the room. Matthew is just, like zoning out. He doesn't even look like he's in his body anymore. He's just dissociated.
Virgil, like, gives him a slight whap on the head. At least
Doesn't do it.
At least bow.
I think he's drunk. I think he's absolutely plastered.
Father Jacob,
No
it's a deity,
bowing.
bow.
You don't need to bow. It's
I'm sorry. It's a manners thing, and this man, he doesn't have manners, but not in the sense that you'd think. As he's just
She,
like, God damn it, Jacob.
makes her way over to Matthew. Looks him up and down. Does the same thing. Puts a
shouldn't
hand
be
on your shoulder.
possible. This shouldn't be possible.
And why is that, child?
Homeboy here is empty.
Indeed.
Just as plainly.
I do sense a emptiness within him.
Yeah, he lacks a soul.
He is soulless.
That's what
Yeah.
he's told me, anyways.
He comes from somewhere else. Not sure where, but somewhere else.
That is quite unusual.
Supposedly makes a lot of people have no soul, but
This would be the first time that I would have talked to a deity.
I mean,
He
in a
just
way-
looks
in a-
flabbergasted, like he.
In a
It's like,
way,
what
you
is
talk to the
life?
Night Mother, though.
No, she'll. It's no
Like-
response.
no, I can't do that anymore because YouTube will
There's no
copyright that.
response. It is a one-sided conversation, but we here can talk. This is unlike anything I imagined.
It was some time ago I decided to spend time on this plane. One thing led to another, and now my family is here.
Bro's worldview is just shattered at the moment.
I mean, yes, I don't think he was expecting to talk to a goddess today. So, I guess no one really is. So,
It is certainly a rare occurrence and a treat, but it's nevertheless magical every time. And Virgil just puts like an arm around Father Jacob's, understanding that this man is not okay.
He's not
Like
okay.
just has an arm around him, like to be like don't like fall over on me or some shit.
he's also hyperventilating.
He's probably only like 90 pounds. You should be careful not to knock him over.
Dante,
Like Virgil is going to knock you over. Virgil's just trying to be comforting and be assistant.
If Dante hit me, I'd swing around like a
Dante
bowling
could
pin.
swing you about like a rag doll. Who are you
Oh,
kidding?
yeah. Don't worry, Dante's not over there.
Dante
He's
could
fine.
probably wear you as a necklace if he tried. To be honest.
Which it's really funny because like Father Jacobs right now is like having his world shattered. Virgil is like, being respectful to the deity, but also he was not talking too much and like, he was kind of just chilling. But you notice that who's normally a slate gray color, like Virgil always being like slate gray in skin color, gets a shit ton of pink in his face. The minute Dante had entered the room. The minute Dante entered the room, Virgil went really pink in the face, and he hates how obvious it is. He's just like, fuck.
I mean, to be honest, Amelia's probably also slightly embarrassed since she just essentially told... just said that the guy's just abusing
Virgil under his breath when Dante first entered the room, you really could grind meat on those. That shit wasn't lying.
That line may never
Holy
die.
fuck.
That freaking joke is so great.
And when Dante did a flex and things like that, Virgil's just over there getting redder, fuck. Shit, he's on.
So
Virgil, are you ill?
No.
Actually, I should bring this up because this is so fitting right now, even if this is completely out of context. But I'm seeing Slick Mix's description right now. It just says white now.
Yeah. So you can see it. Fantastic. As you were saying, Steve.
So I want to use one of my sorcery points to subtle spell prestidigitation and prestidigitate a small cheese and just mage hand run it across his abs just to see what happens.
Each ab is its own instrument.
Across Dante's chest?
Those abs could shred cheese, and Relic wants to see it happen.
What's the
I
passive
can, I, I,
perception
can, I,
of
can, I
that?
can actually say what happens.
Yeah, Dante, please.
When you use the mage hand and you run it down like from top to bottom, you notice that it just kind of like the cheese doesn't do a whole lot. But then when going from bottom to top, it does actively start cutting into and taking up pieces of the cheese.
Amelia's eyes just completely widened to see the cheese actually be
Sharks
shredded.
are smooth as hell.
They're smooth one way, but rough the other. Their scales are called dermal denticles, and they're like tiny teeth. So if you rub them the wrong way, it's like sandpaper.
Relic just like looks down at his chest through the robes and looks at Dante's and then looks at the cheese that was summoned and just kind of like shies further away.
Dante's just like, well, it wouldn't be the first time. And then
This is all being done behind a literal deity's back.
well, it wouldn't be the first time. I mean, usually they ask first, but I don't care. he just like wipes off the cheese a bit and like cleans it up.
The goddess Cassandra does eventually turn around and say, well, I hope you will all stay for dinner. I must get back to cooking, by the way. And she...
Oh wait, did what is it?
Course.
But did Relic notice anything or learn anything from the runes? Or were you actually really investigating the runes?
Relic did want to learn more about Gallimancy from the runes.
You would like to study peppermint.
That's what he was doing initially before we got sidetracked with a bunch of other stuff.
Right. Well, peppermint is still in the room.
Doing peppermint thing.
Looks at you, is like, child.
Relic has like a slight pouty face as he's unhappy with being called a child. I'm an adult!
I'm sorry, it's one of his earlier words.
He gives you a pat on the head and then reaches over and hands you a grape. He's like, grape?
No, I
Thank you.
didn't expect a golem to be,
But I'm sorry. It's
condescending.
just peppermint. That was one of Peppermint's early words. Peppermint. When we had Connor, that's one of the early words he learned when Connor was a baby.
He only really knows 6 words: grape, candy, tea, child, chamomile, and bear.
Why does he know bear?
It's a problem around here.
Yeah,
Oh.
a lot of bears. A lot of
Oh.
bears.
A bear
Relic-
eated my neighbor.
Relic holds up Sandra's guide to Adia and says, "Oh, it's in the book."
It is.
Yes.
It is in the book. So anyway, you were studying the runes.
Yeah.
Make an Arcana check?
Sure.
Oh yeah,
Alright.
easy enough. It's actually a needlessly simple, thing. I'm not sure how to describe this. But no, it's actually a lot simpler than you thought it was gonna be. You actually rolled high enough, you think you could replicate this.
No.
If you had enough mass of candy,
It's specifically
which you
has
don't
to be
have,
candy.
but
Maybe there's a candy store nearby.
Is Relic able to understand enough to potentially increase the learning of words?
that's more of a mental thing going on with peppermints.
Okay.
You have heard of golems, like very basic golems, eventually learning a vocabulary, but it takes a long time.
Nodding.
As you're studying this, the fawn that has been sitting in this chair does get up and walk over to you.
Immediately bails.
Follows you again.
Ew, dear cuties.
I need to speak with you.
He's like trying to pretend to be like really engrossed in the runes and just slowly rotating around.
I need to speak with you.
About what?
Meet me outside in 10 minutes.
Relic like flashes a panicked look over towards Virgil and then over towards Dante.
Are you doing cryptic shit again? Is what Dante just said.
She looks at Dante and is like, yes, but it's not gonna be harmful this time.
So long as it's not harmful. Alright? I can only talk to the guard so many times, okay? I'm not always here.
She gives Dante a nod, walks by. Sis, I'm borrowing this one. Cinder's like, okay, Gale.
Oh yeah, and Virgil looking at Relic is like... I mean, I don't know. I think I would trust that man with my life. Looking at Dante. If he says it's okay, I'm sure it'll be okay.
Right, does anybody else do anything?
Duskin.
Okay. Just in the kitchen.
Yes, as this is all going on, Duskin is just, after a moment, gonna follow her. And is going to ask, you will notice his demeanor has changed to less of a slob and savage to proper, the least he can do. As he goes into the kitchen, and without yelling like he normally does, would you like help in cooking?
She gives you a gentle look and is like, if you could, that would be wonderful.
But definitely. That was all for now.
Okay.
Dante tries to help with cooking, but every time he needs to tenderize the meat, it explodes. One punch and that shit just explodes.
You see, Dante's been working on this... It's this crazy idea of, cooking a chicken by slapping it?
But when he tries to gently tenderize meat, it doesn't always work. Just, oh, can you tenderize this? Oh yeah, sure, and just full punch. And it explodes everywhere.
Anyway, enough about my exploits. What is your group doing? Tell me your latest incredible adventures.
Oh.
That's a secret.
Okay, I'll just say we were trying to find some objects, and we're trying to get into something.
Okay.
Ah, painfully vague.
That's
Love it.
Very painfully vague.
Yeah, okay, we're trying to find keys to get into an area. That's it. Is that a bit better? Keys. I won't say what the keys or what the area we're going to is, but yeah.
I look to Relic.
Relic shrugs.
Look back.
Could we help in any way? Maps? Pointers?
I mean, you could use money, but that's kind of a hard ask.
I was just gonna say we are looking for somebody.
We're looking for multiple somebodies.
We are looking for multiple somebodies.
Amelia,
which-
make an insight check on Sandra.
Amelia, okay.
Be insightful.
+2. Okay.
As
Special with
someone
17.
who saved the frickin' world, not only that, but she's an open book. You can tell. You feel like you could ask her anything and she'll answer you honestly. Like, you feel like you can trust her.
Okay. We are trying to find, well, a dwarf person that's around Stoneholm, Iron Ridge, and Great Granite Keep. He is currently driving a train around there. And we're also looking for somebody who went south. They supposedly have the keys we're looking for to get into the area we want to get into.
Yeah, and
Kinda-
we have the first key. It came from like the crazy old man Hickory.
Old Man Hickory, why do I know that name?
Yo, I remember him, dude. Those
Remind me?
cattails suck.
Oh, Cattail
Dante
guy.
immediately remembering the cattail.
I spent most of that town in a field.
Yeah, and I got stuck in a
felt-
shit ton of fucking cattails.
I spent most of that town in a field because I felt super bad.
Yeah, that was a rough one.
But the
Let's go
train
talk to him. How
thing-
is he?
Well, we found out he, I guess is sane, to put it loosely, and he was one of the people who gave us the key, as Virgil just said.
I'd believe it. That man's capable of more than I think I could ever imagine. So I believe that.
As for the train thing, Connor, do we still have those notes on the Dwarven subrail system that we wrote down while I was writing that book? And he gives her a nod, and she's like, okay. Step into my office.
Okay.
Relic, you...
I have become one with the wall, my bad.
Yeah.
Relic,
I hate it when
does Relic go outside?
Oh, has it been about 10 minutes?
Yes.
Before Relic goes outside, Relic is going to quick cast message and send a message to Virgil and just say, I know nothing about courtship, please help.
Huh?
What?
You have a message?
He's a wizard.
How does message
Do I have a
work?
message?
Do I respond? Can I respond
It's-
to it?
I
A
believe you can
mental
respond.
whisper that only
Okay,
you
so
can hear
yeah,
in your
message
head.
is like sending, but it's a cantrip, and it has a much shorter range. You also need, I think, a piece of copper wire. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Relic
Yeah.
has it.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna, I wasn't gonna hardball you with the copper wire. I was just.
Yeah, I'll just rip
I
it
know
out of your
this
walls.
spell.
Virgil hearing this message is immediately like just giggling
And-
and
Turns out
Yes,
Relic's
you
way
can reply to
stronger
his
than I thought.
message.
Yeah, I
Breaks
read it.
into the wall and steals a copper
yeah, I'm just
wire.
like Virgil like has a giggle to himself for a moment and then responds back like sends a message back that's just, hey, just be yourself. Don't think too hard about it. up to you if you're into them or not. You don't have to do anything you don't want to, but just be yourself, man. And don't be rude.
Relic looks at Adeline.
I've done recently.
Relic looks at Adeline and is like, you come with me. If anyone's dying, I want at least there to be less of a chance that it's me.
She looks at you and is like, okay, I guess it's nice to be included. Right, so the two of you head outside. You close the door behind you.
Yeah, we're not rude.
Mm-hmm. And before we get into that, does Dante do anything?
I imagine if he's not needed, Dante would just go back into the kitchen.
Okay. Just covering the bases.
Cooking!
Right, so you approach this fawn who's been staring at you since you walked in. I believe introductions are in order. I'm Gale Pinehoof.
Relic Medei.
Relic. Do you have any idea what you've come into possession of?
Relic looks at Adeline and is just like, a noble girl?
Not the girl. Why are you even here?
You don't possess people. What the fuck? She's not an object.
Maybe it's her line of business.
I'm
Relic
referring to
would.
the staff.
Oh, this is just a copy of Zach's staff.
On the end.
Oh, my magic rock?
You have no idea what power you hold, do you?
I mean, it tastes bad.
May I?
You're not gonna take it, are you?
Not if I don't have to.
Insight check.
Go for it. She seems on the level.
She's not gonna steal it.
No.
Alright, Relic is gonna hold out the staff and, like, be holding the end of his own staff, but, like, showing the crystal to her.
She puts her hand on the crystal, examines it for a while, mutters something, and then distinctly says something in Draconic. Do you speak Draconic?
Nope, I only speak Celestial.
Okay, well, she says something in Draconic.
Damn it. I'm not in the room.
I also know Draconic, dang it.
Too bad you're not there.
Damn.
You do not speak the language?
I mean, like, I've studied it a little bit, but I'm not that great at it. I know, like, some words. Like, Relic says something that's, like, an extremely offensive slur.
Motherfucker.
Very expensive. Offensive. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words today. Either way, that one's not important. I basically just said, "Hey, boss," and the crystal starts to swirl with magical energy, and then before you have a tremendous amount of time to comprehend what the fuck is going on, this enormous spiritual dragon appears before you and stares down at the three of you.
I'm sorry.
All right, Relic does not piss himself.
Nice.